What's going on, YouTube? It has been a minute since we have caught up. We have a lot to catch up on, a lot I want to get off my chest. Obviously, we're going to talk about all the transfer portal stuff that's going on with Iowa State. We got freaking Ben Askren saying what's going on with Iowa State. We got Oklahoma State fans taking a break from kissing their cousins to come after me. Of course, I've deserved some of it. But before we get into that, I would like to address our absence from the channel. I'm not going to go into like deep talks about it because it's really not that deep. Honestly, just long story short or long story long, had a bunch of other stuff outside of doing stalemates that I had to focus on for a little bit. All positive stuff, nothing like depressing or sad or anything like that. We had a kid, my first baby, first child. She's crying in the other room. Feel bad for my wife right now. God bless her. But everything's good now, and I feel motivated again to do content. I'm gonna like try really freaking hard to be consistent and do stuff, whether that's a weekly podcast, whether that's doing big explainer videos, which I'm not gonna lie, like I have not been doing content, but I have been honestly working on this video that I'm hopefully gonna post like in the next week or two about Dan Gable that I think is maybe one of the best like long form explainer videos that I've ever done. So stay tuned to the channel for that. But in the meantime, I really like doing these like one-off, just me and the camera videos where I react to wrestling content. In the past, I've done them before. You guys have seen them, and they've done pretty good. And I can do them like pretty fast. I don't have to rely on a bunch of other people to get together to do a podcast. I still want to do like podcast content and like live shows and stuff like that. Obviously, you guys like having fellers on the channel, and you know we had people last year like Dion and Bummy, and obviously you know Tyler's involvement. But I want to just do stuff that I enjoy doing and not do stuff that I don't enjoy doing. And yeah. So anyways, all that aside, apologize for the absence, but we got some shit to talk about, dude. Iowa State, what the hell is going on? We got Cody Chittum entering the transfer portal. We got Casey Swiderski entering the transfer portal. But I'm going to tell you guys today why I don't think that that's as big of a deal as people want to say. I also don't want to be one of those guys who's like, oh, we didn't like him anyways. Oh, that guy sucked, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to do that today because, you know, I don't think that's exactly the healthiest way to approach this. I'm instead just going to look at this from like an analytical perspective, a real perspective. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm an Iowa State fan. You see the GOAT back there, Cale Sanderson, wrestled for Iowa State. A lot of people forget. We're going to focus today on just like the facts, okay? A lot of people want to forget about the facts. They want to get into like how this looks optically for Iowa State. Okay, it doesn't look good when you got, you know, the #1 recruit in this class, Cody Chittum, leaving, former All-American Casey Swiderski leaving. I understand that a lot of people want to come at me. I've obviously had my fun on Twitter X in the past with Oklahoma State fans. But by the way, dude, are they the freaking worst or what? They're like fake-ass Penn State fans, but without the results, okay? And how disgusting is it? I like this. Honestly, this alone maybe brought me out of retirement more than anything. I saw this clip the other day after Nationals that made me believe, I honestly, for just a little bit, I honestly believed that Oklahoma State won the national championships. Seriously, I seriously thought that Oklahoma State won the NCAAs because when they got done wrestling in Philadelphia, they flew home. They had a parade for third place. I have never once seen a parade for third place. The program that holds the NCAA record, I believe, they're tied with Dan Gable. I could be wrong. Fact checkers, fact me in the comments. The program that has won 9 in a row, the only program that has tied the great Dan Gable, who wrestled for Iowa State, for the most amount of NCAA championships in a row, has chosen to forget all of their history, all of their titles, and they celebrated a third place trophy. Do you think John Smith would be happy to come home to Stillwater, Oklahoma, with a parade if he came home with a third place trophy? Do you think he would be happy? I don't think that he would. I think he would be like, get this shit out of here. This isn't what we came here for. But apparently, in the David Taylor era, that's what's accepted. They are happy with coming home with a third place finish. Mind-blowing to me. I have never seen that before. And I know there's Oklahoma State fans, like I said earlier, that took a break from kissing their cousins to tell me that they're, you know, this is what, you know, if you guys in Ames celebrated your, this is what we do for I can't talk more rusty. This is what we do for our athletes here in Oklahoma. I have never seen a fan base pretend like they won the NCAAs more than Oklahoma State fans have. Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about Casey Swiderski and Cody Chittum leaving. Every time like something happens with Iowa State and like these big accounts tweet it, somebody always tags me and goes, we need a live look at Zebo99. What's going on with Zebo99? How you feeling, dude? Freaking all this shit. Tell me why I should be sad. No, seriously, tell me why I should be sad. Okay, let's break it down from an analytical perspective. Let's start with Casey Swiderski. He's the first one that got in the portal. Now, I am sad about Casey leaving because I like Casey as like an entertainer. You know, when he would win in Hilton Coliseum and he would do this thing, he beats the Iowa wrestler. He says, I'm just going bird hunting. Like content wise, entertainment wise, like being proud of like, that guy's a freaking Cyclone. That part sucks. But when you take a step back and you look at like, okay, so Casey this year was supposed to wrestle 141 for Iowa State and he gets hurt. Bummer. Sucks, right? The guy who stepped in to replace him is the only guy that we had this year that became an All-American. And what did he place? 7th place. What's Casey's best finish? 7th place. Tell me why I should be sad. It's like, okay, he's gone. Next man up. Boom. Same results. Okay, I'm sad. Let's take a look at Cody Chittum. Now, Cody Chittum, it was like our big deal. We stole him from Iowa, right? The rivals, we stole him from them, right? He comes over to Iowa State. We're all excited. It's like, oh, we freaking took your guy. You brought in the Ferraris. They ended up not working out, except they got Angelo, so it worked out kind of. We get freaking Cody Chittum. We're all excited. Cody Chittum had a lot of good moments for Iowa State, but you look at our lineup next year, right? And it's like, you got Cody Chittum, who's our 157 pounder. Who's going to replace him? Well, you're going to have to put in Anthony Etchemendia at 149. So Pinheiro is going to have to bump up to 157. What's the difference between Pinheiro Johnson and Cody Chittum? To me, the only difference to me, the guy that's going to have to replace Cody Chittum has 2 Big 12 titles. I don't understand how I'm supposed to be sad when the 2 guys that are leaving the program are getting replaced by guys with the same, if not better results than the guys that are leaving. Again, I'm the one that's supposed to be sad. Then you also got Kyson Terrakina. He's leaving, which it's like, I like Kyson. I hope the best for him. I saw he's visiting North Carolina. Congrats to him. We got a guy, Christian Castillo, that's coming in that I heard is an absolute dog. Zach Redding leaves the program. Another guy that I have nothing like against any of these guys leaving. They're doing what's best for them. And I'm not like, they're doing, if they think that they can go somewhere else and have better success, freaking hell yeah. But as an Iowa State fan, I'm just looking at it from like my perspective. I don't know why I'm sad. Zach Redding, somebody's going to get a dog in him because he is an ultimate team guy, but he is a guy that wasn't going to make the lineup next year. Kyson Terrakina, I'm not sure he's going to make the lineup next year because you got guys like Adrian Meza around. Maybe Castillo doesn't even freaking redshirt. Who knows? But also, look at Swiderski. Was he going to make the lineup next year? If he goes 149, he's going to have Anthony Etchemendia, which I'm just going to say it, Etchemendia beats him. And we're going to, and like, you don't have to believe me. You can say what, you can say this, you can say that, whatever, but we'll see next year what happens. Cody Chittum, maybe he would have been our guy. But at the same time, it's like the guy that's replacing him has the same damn results and 2 Big 12 titles. And I know that like Iowa State fans, you know, they get frustrated with the way that, you know, Pinheiro wrestles and like, you know, his results at NCAA's this past year weren't, you know, what we thought they were going to be, but neither were Cody Chittum's. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, tell me why I'm sad. Plus, if you look at the way that this portal has gone, there's guys that have gone in the portal that are at weights that we're going to need for next year. I don't understand. And we've done like traditionally well in the portal. You know, we've brought in guys like Feldkamp. We brought in guys like Bachman. You know, we've brought in guys that have, you know, maybe not got the results that we wanted at the end of the year, but were improvements from the guys that we had in the room. I'll tell you this, there's nobody else in this NIL era that I want at the top as the captain than Kevin Dresser. That guy, I don't know why he's a coach for wrestling, because he could make 10 times more, and he gets paid well, but he could make 10 times more money in business just knowing how that man operates. I want to tell you guys, Iowa State fans, you got nothing to worry about. Oklahoma State fans, shut the hell up. Until you beat Cale Sanderson, then I'll take my hat off to you. But until then, keep throwing those parades for third place. And Iowa State fans who, like, you're down in the dumps, whatever, we brought home a team trophy last year. Literally a year ago, we had the same results that Iowa and Oklahoma State have just had, and they should have spent 10 times more money than we have. Look at Nebraska. They don't have the freaking money that Oklahoma State and Iowa have, and look where they finished ahead of both them guys. So at the end of the day, we're all celebrating going for second, third, fourth. Penn State's way far ahead of everybody. And as far as I'm concerned, Iowa State, you got nothing to worry about. When you look at it just from an analytical perspective, we got guys in the room. Iowa State didn't have the year that we quite wanted to have, but we also had all these injuries, and I'm not worried about the injuries either because we've been a historically healthy team. Kevin Dresser has delivered so many healthy teams in March. We have 1 year where we get guys banged up, and sometimes just the way that things are going to go. But as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing that could worry me as an Iowa State fan right now. Now, I might, who knows what's going to happen with the portal. Maybe other people freaking get in there and I'm going to have to figure out other ways to freaking spin this. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a softball of a spin zone for me. This was an easy one. Anyways, I'm going to make more videos like this. Do you guys like this reactionary content where I react to shit that's going on? Or do you guys like the podcast? Do you like the long explainer videos? You like all of it? Anyways, I miss being in the mix. I miss hanging out with you guys. I miss the comments. I miss the negative shit as well. Oklahoma State fans, you guys know that I like the back and forth. So it's fine. I earned some of it. You guys earned some of it. Good night.